This is Avengers 209, not to be confused with Avengers 208. This one is a fill-in issue, but it's a good fill-in issue. We've got an alright cover here, showing the characters, and they're all leaping for this stone, the Resurrection Stone. That is what it is called. Will it save the universe or destroy it? Neither, actually. I will say that this cover is pretty good. It represents the story really well. This one is written by DeMatteis, and it is effectively somewhat of a prologue that is Defenders run. This entire storyline, it's revisited in Defenders, so yes, I have found another way to sneak a Defenders video in. We start off in space, and this is a really good example of telling a story with just the art. We have got a spaceship crashing on a planet. We have got the wreckage. We have someone crawling out. What's this? Oh no, he has been shot. And there's the assassin, and you know he is the assassin because his gun is still smoking, and that is bad because smoking causes cancer. And he goes into the ship walking at a really odd angle, and he starts looking around and he finds this electronic gadget. It's like a space iPhone. Then you have got to turn the page, and he destroys the iPhone because he hates all the big corporations and companies like Apple. Then he gets beamed up into space like in Star Wars. Classic. Beam me up, Stevie. And they blow up the ship behind them. Avengers Mansion, and we have got a scaled down cast of characters in this one. Firstly, Wonder Man, which is Wonder Woman when she transitioned. Very good, very progressive. The Smurf, Charlotte Witch, and the Vision. So we don't have Captain America or Iron Man or Thor. This woman, she is the Smurf's girlfriend, and we get a little recap of their relationship, when they met, when the Smurf fought the Hulk. Dead romantic, that. And if you look closely in the background, this fella lying down in a tube, that is Mimic from the X-Cells. And then Alfred comes in and he gives the Smurf's lass a cup of tea. But she suddenly drops down dead. Because, you see, it's not Alfred, it is a Skrull. I call Mr. Shenanigans on this though. The Avengers would definitely have security measures to identify a Skrull posing as Alfred. The Skrull says that the only way to bring the Smurf's girlfriend back is if they find the Resurrection Stone. You know, from the cover. We get a little bit of backstory on the stone here. It was forged on some far off planet by a wizard, and the lure of the Resurrection Stone was so strong that it effectively made the planet into a constant horrific war site, because everyone and their mums wanted the stone for themselves. This alien, he's the one from the start, he had found it, so the Skrull killed him. Turns out that the Resurrection Stone, it has been split into two halves, and is hidden across space and time. Well, mostly time. So we begin an adventure through history as the four Avengers try to reassemble the Resurrection Stone to revive Smurf's girlfriend. And it's broken up into chapters, so I suspect this might have been planned and written for an annual, but it was repurposed as a single issue. So stuff like the chapters here, they stick out as odd. The writer, DeMatteis, he wasn't the regular writer of the Avengers. The book, at this point, didn't have a regular writer. So this is just a standalone fill-in issue, but I like it because there is some consequence. The Resurrection Stone obviously comes back. So if this had just been a done-in-one and they never referenced it again, it would feel a bit worthless. But there is some use to it. And here is what I reckon example of the story being truncated to fit into the page limits of a single issue. Through all these captions here, we learn that the team went to Mr. Fantasticals to use his time machine. And Mr. Fantasticals is actually in it at the end. So I suspect there was a scene here with them actually going to Mr. Fantasticals. They have gone back into the olden days, into the days of the plague, the Black Death, that thing that happened where everyone got really ill. And the Resurrection Stone, obviously, could be a great boon to all the people suffering here. And this child has found it and he wants to use it to become like a messiah figure. We've got a really good bit here with Charlotte Witch and a little bit of character down here with the Smurf and Wonder Man. So the little boy with the stone, he raises a bunch of Zumbas to fight the Avengers. So they fight them and take the stone back. Really quickly done. Chapter 3 now in Nazi German land. And look at all them comic gators there. They're probably gunning off to con people into buying some Indiegogo campaign that will never be delivered. This bit here though, with them looking at the park, the order is off. You meant to go there, there and there, but it's not really clear to the eye. You naturally go there, there and there. So better layout is needed. The stone, well the other half of the stone, it has been used in one of them theme parks. The Nazi theme parks. I'm not talking about this one much because the world really doesn't need another comics YouTuber talking about Nazis, does it? Also, this one, it is quite sad. They get the other half back and now we're on to chapter 4 in it. And we have got a similar problem here with the layout. This speech bubble there, it is in between panels 1 and 3. So when you're reading panel 1, you naturally start to read that and you think, oh, maybe we're going in some weird order. But he's actually answering Wonder Man here. So it's just standard reading. You go do, do, do. But of course, it's in panel 1, so it just confuses it. The Smurf, he has got the dilemma of either giving the stone to a baddie or letting his missus stay dead. And the Smurf, he remembers all the horrible things that the stone has done. So he smashes it. And the Avengers, they beat up the Skrull because they were doing it before fucking feminism was. And we end with the Avengers and Mr. Fantasticals. He says he'll try and help to restore the Smurf's girlfriend to life. But will he? Find out in an issue of the Defenders, like years after this one came out. And we end with the Smurf and he is going, there is hope. This is a fun little story, done in one. I rate it 7 thumbs up.